Hello there. Today we're going to calibrate the axes on this little 3018 into the Gerbil program today. So the first thing we're going to do is choose a suitable feed rate, which is about 500 millimeters per minute, and I want the axes to move 100 millimeters. I've got the other camera set up there, viewing how far the x-axis is going to travel, and I have a nice piece of wood there with some lines drawn on it, and I have a very pointy tool in the collet, and we're going to ask now the little router to move in its x-axis 100 millimeters like so. And you'll see up here that it's registered, okay, it's moved 100 millimeters. Now we will check to see indeed if it is 100 millimeters. So I can do this without getting my head in the way or anything. Okay, I'm sure you can see that's on the line. It is exactly 100 millimeters. It's moved. Okay, so we'll just move it back. So that actually tells me that it's absolutely correctly set up, but we'll move it back. And I'm going to show you how to alter the steps per if it was incorrect. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an incorrect number in to make the axis incorrect, and show you how to correct it. And what you do, you go down here to this bottom box here. Okay, you see where the cursor changes. Pull it up. Okay, come in this bottom box down here and just type $sign and press enter. Now you'll find a row of numbers come up here. This is the settings in Gerbil for this particular machine. Now what you're looking for, it's just a load of numbers. What you're looking for is this group here. Right, 100, 101 and 102. That represents X, Y and Z axes. And you'll see here that the axis is set at 800 steps per, it actually relates to 800 steps per millimeter of travel. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a false number to show you that by altering these numbers you can alter the result in the axis. In other words, alter the steps. And you can walk yourself in to the correct setting. There is calculations you can do as well, but sometimes they're a little bit complex. It's easier to just walk yourself in to get the right number. So we're going to give it a wrong number in the X, just to show you. So it's $100 equals, so 100 is the axis, which is, in this case, is the x-axis. And what we're going to do now is we're going to say, okay, we're going to give it 860 steps per. Okay, we can press enter. Now it may not show up on there, okay, but that's actually logged into the program now. So we can clear that and bring that back down. And this now is going to travel further, not too much further, probably about 3 or 4 millimeters further, too far. So we're going to ask it again to move 100 millimeters, what the program thinks 100 millimeters are, don't forget. And you'll see it registering up here, 100. Now we'll go back to the other camera. I'll actually put the other camera footage here so you can see. Okay, so we put this on here. Oh, actually it's gone a lot further. It's gone to 107.5, thereabouts. So you can see that it's actually lengthened the distance by altering that number. So when I say walk yourself in, okay, to the correct number, what I mean is you can go into the console here again, $, enter, and actually for my own interest I want to see if, no, this is just actually the listing, so that really doesn't matter. So first of all we're going to ask it to come back to the start position. Not having changed anything, that should bring us back to where we were. The program thinks it's 100 millimeters, but we know in fact it's 107.5. And we'll just check to see whether it's, yep, that's on the line. Exactly. So we're going to walk ourselves in now. Okay? So we're going to say, just for example, $100, which is the axes, equals 830.000. Enter. And we're going to ask it to move the same 100 millimeters. And we'll measure it. Okay. That is pretty well 104 millimeters. Okay, so we're getting closer to our goal. So it's a little bit of messing around, but you know, it's well worth it in the end. So we'll ask it to come back that 100 again. Just check that it has come all the way back to that line. That's pretty damn perfect. Okay, so now we go back in here to the console and go $. Oh, that wasn't $. 100 equals, now this time we're going to go 810. Enter. And we know it's not going to be quite right, but it's going to be close. Well, there you go. That's 101 millimeters, or thereabouts. So you can see now what I mean by you can walk yourself in to the correct number. So I'm going to ask it to come back. So it should come back now to that line. Perfect. So now we'll put in what we know the correct number is. Which is 800. And we'll move it to 100. And we'll measure it. And that is pretty perfect, which is 100 millimeters. So that's how to check the axes. Okay, this is the easy way to check the axes. Over a longer distance, you know, I would recommend for the X and Y, that needs to be, you know, sort of over 100 millimeters. Obviously with the Z you can't do that, so you need to a round number, either 20 or 30 millimeters. And you can actually measure it with one of these, and it's exactly the same process. You walk yourself in, but we will check those axes now to see how far they are out, if they're out at all. They've got exactly the same screws, same motors. They should be identical. They're identical numbers in the listing, and there's no reason why they should be different. The last video where I did a couple of cuts, I did a small circular pocket and a square around it, and I found it's a couple of millimeters out here. There's something wrong. There wasn't anything wrong at all. In actual fact, when I wrote the program, or wrote the G code in easel, someone alerted me, you'll see in the comments down there somewhere, that, oh, you only ran the roughing cut, you didn't run the finishing cut. That could have been the discrepancy. It could have been, you know. I thought that would only have made a couple of thou difference, but it was something I'm going to try another program as well, and I'll run the same test just to find out, well, what was going on, because the axes and the Gerbil control is actually talking the same language, and they seem to be exactly synced up together. Okay, so this time I'm going to alter, let me see, feed rate 500 is okay. I'm going to bring this down to see, I think I'm going to ask if I can do this for 50 actually. Feed rate, okay. So I've actually put a number in there that isn't listed. I'm going to see if it'll do 50 millimeters for me. It should do. And I'm going to do the y-axis. Okay, so now we will measure that, and that's exactly, that's exactly 50 millimeter. I mean, it's perfect. So we don't have to alter that one. So I'm going to move it back. Now the Z. So put that on continuous. And what I want to do is, so I'm going to lift that up. So hang on a minute, let's change cameras here. Okay, so let's measure this. That looks to me like 28, I'm reading it upside down here. .85. I'm going to ask it to move up. I'm going to move 10 millimeters up. So that should read 18.85 or thereabouts. Come here. Oh, gotta find some way of holding this. .85. It's very difficult to hold over the top of the camera, so I mean that's okay. It's showing me that it's well within spec there. So there you go. It's really a very easy process, and I hope you understand my description of walking yourself in onto the correct setting, but that's one way of doing it. You know, you can do the measurement more accurately. You can use a DTI, but really for cutting wood, you know, for this little machine, what it's going to do, I don't think there's any need to get it any more accurate than that. You know, that's you know, within a hair's gap is fine. Within a few thirds, you know, 5 thirds, even 10 thirds, it's fine. You know, you're cutting wood. You're not using a precision milling machine where then that matters. To get it to, you know, with it plus or minus 1/1000th of an inch or 1/2 of an inch even, then that matters. But in this case, for this little machine, you know, it's fine. So in the next video, I'm going to give it something quite nice to do. I'm going to give it a little 3D project to cut and see how it goes. So I hope you've enjoyed the video today, and please press like and subscribe, and I'll see you again on the next video. So, bye for now.